President Trump has shared publicly that he authorized covert action in Venezuela. And the Venezuelan president, Nicolas Maduro, has said that this is about regime change. He has called out what he describes as CIA-led coups. Well, a source familiar with the matter in the United States, not in Venezuela, to be clear, has said that no decision has been made on this. But this administration sees Maduro as illegitimate because of fraudulent elections. But it goes deeper than that. Number one, this, in the views of the Trump administration, would stop the flow of drugs into the United States. But number two, and this is really important, this would open up the largest economy in South America if sanctions could be lifted, if Maduro was no longer leading the country. This is a rich country that has very much suffered in these years. According to a company called World Finance, the country's economy has collapsed by almost 50% in the past 5 years. The mismanagement includes, of course, the oil industry. So what I'm told is that the U.S. has been mapping government infrastructure, civilian infrastructure, criminal infrastructure, what they believe to be connected to drug trafficking, and that these policies are being pushed by the multi-titled Marco Rubio, of course, the National Security Advisor, as well as the Secretary of State. We have seen a buildup of military forces in the region, and the USS Gerald Ford Carrier Strike Group, which includes the world's largest warship, is on its way to the region. It's expected to arrive around November 15th-ish. I'm told that about 20% of the Navy will be deployed off of the coast. And I'm also told that a U.S. Special Operations Command vessel, under the cover of a commercial vessel, has also recently left a dock in Ponce, Puerto Rico, that's along the southern coast. I'm told that it can launch 150 Delta Force or Navy SEAL operators, as well as helicopters from the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment. Quote, if Trump makes the call to depose him, of course, meaning Maduro, the plan right now is for targeted special operations missions like Grenada and not a full-scale invasion, which is reflected by the force posture we see building. The reference to Grenada has to do with something that happened in 1983, Operation Urgent Fury. This was the most massive military operation that the U.S. waged since the war in Vietnam at that time. So it saw U.S. forces swiftly take the Caribbean island after there was a coup that deposed and then had the prime minister executed. A chaos ensued, Cuba, Soviet, etc. But this was something that was celebrated by the people in Grenada. It was celebrated by the U.S., how quickly order was restored. But it also received international criticism because it didn't include European allies. So is something like that on the way as well? We just don't know. And also, what of the alleged drug boats and the at least 15 strikes that we have now heard about? This source says that this administration has shifted the strikes to the Pacific because, quote, the administration thinks it's easier to justify. They're also looking to not destroy a boat, but capture it to provide intelligence which justifies the policy. Quote, Intel folks tell me it feels like the 2003 run up to Iraq, trying to find intelligence to support a policy decision that has already been made. Now, I asked the White House and the Pentagon to respond to these comments from this source, and the Pentagon has not responded back. And I just got an automatic message from the White House press team that says, quote, as you await a response, please remember this could have been avoided if Democrats voted for the clean continuing resolution to keep the government open. Of course, this also comes after Senator Mark Warner, the top Democrat on the Senate Intelligence Committee, has very publicly complained about how Democrats have not been receiving intelligence briefings on these matters, something that the White House has said is not true. I'm going to leave it here for now. I appreciate you watching and paying attention as this continues to develop. I'm going to try to keep you posted. And thank you to my paid subscribers. If you can do it, it means so much to me. It's how I get to keep doing this work. I'll see you guys again soon.